A lot of people who know me well, my work well, know that the biggest mistake in my life, even though I've written two books about the heart, one, Magnesium, the Ultimate Heart Medicine, which it is, and Heart Health, which is less about the pump, the physical pump, and more about the emotional center in our being. It's called the Heart Center, the heart. In my book, Heart Health, I define the heart as the vulnerability of being, where we feel our feelings and emotions, secure, insecure, relates to the color green. But my biggest mistake was focusing just on the heart and not my vascular system. So the first thing I want to do is thank the people at Atherocare in Australia who make available a rectal suppository of cyclodextrins. Saved my life, basically. I'm able to sit here 17 months. Well, I've been taking the cyclodextrins for about a year. I have not totally recovered, but I'm alive. I've avoided surgery, though I was an emergency case. And these cyclodextrins literally clean our arteries. So I'm very grateful to this company. And through my experience over the last 15 months, I've written a book called Unclogging Your Arteries, and developed, with the background of my first two books on the heart, a whole system of cardiology, which I call natural cardiology. And it's different than everything else that's out there. Yes, at the core is cyclodextrins. I got turned on to cyclodextrins by a Dr. Roberts. And he basically said that if you need surgery, cardiac surgery, you should only need it once. Because he developed a system, which I follow in part, of naturally cleaning the arteries, controlling cholesterol, without using pharmaceuticals. Today, I published my second article on PPC. I'm not even sure how to pronounce its chemical name. If you hold on a second, I'll try. Polyanyl phosphophenylene chlorine, PPC. It's the second major component in my my basic medicine is called natural allopathic medicine. Specifically, I'm focusing on natural cardiology. So with the cyclodextrins, we very importantly look at PPC. And what is PPC? Very simply, it's the same material that cell walls are made out of. Cell membranes. So it includes not only cell walls, which is interface between our living cells and the environment, but also the membranes and the mitochondria. And this PPC, which you can buy in a very purified form, is that material that will help you restore your membranes. Basic medicine. PPC has been around, 75 years. Originally, it was a pharmaceutical, though it's natural, and it was used to treat liver disease, and still is. PPC, I take it in liquid form, which is very strong. It's like putting in peanut butter into your mouth. Very strong. But this, I got some for my wife, which is in tablet form. I take enough tablets, like specifically magnesium, vitamin C, and many other things. As we get older and as we're exposed to toxins, whether it be heavy metals or chemicals or Wi-Fi signals or EMF, we oxidize part of the fats that are in the cell membranes, cell walls, and the mitochondria. And as they deteriorate, our health deteriorates with it. So, PPC is the material that you can take in oral form that will help you restore your cell membranes. Essential. We live in a toxic planet, so everybody's dealing with multiple poisons. There are thousands of chemicals, heavy metals. We live on a mercury-polluted planet. Dentists in America still put dental amalgam in people's mouths, which leaks mercury. So a basic thing to treat is restore your cell membranes. And what I published today is a very serious article about it. It's the second one. The first one was more about its cardiovascular effects. It's 10,000 times better than, and that's an underestimate, than statin drugs. Statin drugs really do nothing except hurt people. And I'm not sure how many Americans are on it, statin drugs, 61 million, 91 million. Not sure that right now the number. And cardiologists prescribe it like cotton candy. Long list of side effects and really no upside to it. Where PPC will not hurt the liver. In fact, it will restore the liver to health. And instead of doing the many different forms of liver cleanses, PPC will restore the liver. And as you get healthy membranes, you have nutrition gets into the cell easier, and poisons get out easier also. It's detox, and all cells need to detox. So that's the second part of my natural cardiology. The next part, next arm, and whether it be for cancer or cardiology or any disease, is present in my book on hydrogen medicine. Hydrogen medicine is not just about hydrogen. Some people think it is. Dr. McCullough just came out and endorsing just a hydrogen machine, just hydrogen gas. Him and I forgot his name right now, coming out with a hydrogen machine that just produces hydrogen. Almost every other company in the world makes Brown's gas, which is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen medicine, as I define it in my book, is combining hydrogen with oxygen, and you can buy machines that do that, with carbon dioxide. We've been hypnotized in the press because of this climate change hysteria and making CO2 into an evil gas. Actually, it's the most necessary gas on the planet. We'd all be dead without it. There's oxygen on this planet because plants use carbon dioxide to make oxygen. Oxygen is a medicine. I wrote my hydrogen book about 7 years ago. But you go back 10 years, and there was a scientist in, well, Eastern Europe, forgot which country, and he sealed his house, was able to put at 1.5 atmospheres pressure, like a hyperbaric chamber. And what did he added 40% oxygen, 2 or 3% carbon dioxide, and hydrogen. And it's called normal baric. And now they make chambers instead of a claustrophobic hyperbaric chamber. They're big chambers. You can get 27 people in them. Big comfortable chairs. You can play chess inside them. And you go in these chambers and you get the hydrogen and you get oxygen under pressure and CO2. And it is spreading from Eastern Europe. They're building one right now in Spain, one in England. The United States always stays way behind. One of the reasons I look the way I do after being a dead man walking 17 months ago is the hydrogen gas. Hydrogen touches everything, including the skin. I don't have my hydrogen machine with me. I'm in the city right now. Thursday I go back to my sanctuary where I have my hydrogen machine, but I have my CO2 inhaler, and I breathe once or twice a day CO2 gas. CO2 is a very big subject, and it relates very much to bicarbonates, whether it be sodium bicarbonate, potassium bicarbonate, or magnesium bicarbonate. Basically, you take baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, put in a glass of water and squeeze a lemon into it, you'll see the acid, the light acid from lemon. What does it do? It turns bicarbonate into CO2. If you just drink bicarbonate, no lemon, the stomach acid does the same thing. And in the blood, carbon dioxide flows in the blood in the form of CO2, bicarbonates, and carbonic acid. And they interchange with each other almost at the speed of light. This also relates to breathing. I meditated for 40 years, and it was only 10 years ago I started concentrating on my breathing, using a Frolov breathing device, slowing my breathing down. We have an epidemic, or the human race at this point is breathing too fast. Did doctors ever address this? No. But the faster you breathe, the faster you breathe, the sooner you die. The faster you breathe, the more CO2 you breathe out. And we've known for 40 years, since 1940, that as CO2 drops, what drops with it? Oxygen. So the faster you breathe, the less oxygen you get. And that's one of the basic causes of cancer, which is hypoxia, oxygen deprivation of the cells, so they have to turn to fermentation. We've known that for a long time, but of course oncologists don't want to pay any attention. So part of my natural cardiology is using these primary gases. In Europe, mostly in Eastern Europe, you can go into these chambers. At home, you can buy a really good hydrogen oxygen machine. And now, for about a year, only a year, you can buy a CO2 inhaler. Doctors started playing around with CO2 gas in the year 1900, more or less, when they started using anesthesia. And they found out that breathing CO2 gas made surgery and the application of anesthesia more gentle. Surgery went better, and recovery times were much faster. Most ICU departments have a CO2 machine, but they don't use them. They use them in 1 or 2 surgery when they should use them with all patients. If you're going to have sealed rooms, you should copy the Eastern Europeans and this normal baric, combining the 3 gases under pressure. So part of natural cardiology is getting control of your breathing, slowing it down. One of the things I do religiously every day is I take an enzyme, nattokinase. If you take reasonably high dosages, it also has effect on the arteries. The idea is protocol, is whatever medical problem you're trying to resolve, you hit it from many sides. And at the center, we go back to my book, Magnesium, the Ultimate Heart Medicine. It might not be the ultimate vascular medicine. In my case, it proves that it isn't, because I had serious blockages in my arteries, and I've been taking lots of magnesium forever. Magnesium combines with everything. Just like the oil in the car is needed for a properly functioning engine, magnesium is needed for properly functioning body. Just like basic things like CO2 and oxygen. It's involved with so many things in the body, including protecting cell walls, including reducing insulin resistance. Magnesium is also involved in insulin production and insulin geometry, which determines its effectiveness. And on and on and on and on. Hundreds of 300 plus enzyme reactions, production of glutathione, which is the master enzyme. A lot of my patients, I tell them basically to drown themselves in magnesium. The more you take, though there's a limit to how much you can take because of bowel tolerance. So I became known in the world of medicine for my book, Transdermal Magnesium Therapy, because if you're starting out treatments with magnesium from a very deficient space, it takes time to build up magnesium, to get it into the cells. So combining oral use with transdermal use is a really good idea. So these are the basics of my natural cardiology. Of course, getting out in the sun, getting vitamin D, exposing yourself to infrared. Vitamin C, of course, is important. And the list goes on. But whether it be cancer or cardiology, let's say there are 10 basic things that you should definitely cover. And when doctors ignore, which they do all the time, the basics, they really don't get good results.
Follow me on Substack. That's where I speak freely and share everything without censorship. You can follow for free or become a paid member for exclusive videos, writings, and my complete natural cardiology system.